Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joji Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Wonjin.
We're going to talk about Better Call Saul Episode 4. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. You have been warned. Spoilers. You know what I like about this episode?
What is it?
This episode felt like such a confidence on the writer's part because all episode long, we don't see some of the major characters. And I think that's one of the things Better Call Saul does well. Because the Lalo thing is hanging in the air. Mm-hmm. Yet we get this little detail scene of Kim and Saul messing with Hamlin again.
And also we see some time being invested in showing the position that Saul is being put in.
Oh, someone's at the door. We're just going to go open the door.
Let's continue.
No, but it was funny to me how much Saul looked like Hamlin once he does the tan and the hair dye. Because I was totally sold on him. Like, because we get a cameo from Breaking Bad character, right? That prostitute with the heart of gold.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. She appears asking for root beer. Because I enjoyed their interaction much more than I thought I would. Because it's one of those things where we keep... This season has been building up to Breaking Bad. And then what I think what it is doing is we keep getting Breaking Bad references.
That's right.
And here we get the prostitute with the heart of gold. And then she says, I kind of like your hair. And there are just these small details that I really liked. And then Kim playing the active role. And see, this is what does so well. Because Kim, when she pitches that law team to the big man, who's Hamlin's friend, he actually agrees with Kim's
idea.
Yeah.
He buys into it.
I think, but the problem here is it keeps showing us what Kim can become and what she wants to become. Because she obviously is enjoying the Saul part more. You could even argue that she is more of a Saul than we thought she was. More than the original character.
And the great thing about the show is it takes enough time to pace it just right.
Yeah. And then so I like that small detail where the show is telling us that Kim basically still has a choice. Because she can go do that team. And we know from our prior experience with like watching Kim,
she's capable of doing so.
She's good at it too. So they're definitely building Kim up to something. And we just don't know what that something is yet. So I like those details. But the big thing I really love was Mike and Kim finally meeting.
For the first time.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to realize that, this is the first time that they're meeting together. Because I had just presumed that they had already met.
and the writing here is good is because every line in Better Call Saul is a hint. Because Mike says, and Kim says, like, why are you telling me this, not Saul? And he says, you're made of tougher stuff. And I was like, is she though? So that's like, see, this show does really well is they say something and then they ask us
the question. He says, because I think you're made of sterner things.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Because remember, this reminded me a lot of Breaking Bad season 3 because Walter keeps saying he's going to do the good thing. And we assume Jesse is the crazy one, right? Trying to get revenge for his friend to the drug dealer. But I think it was the penultimate episode. The shock comes from Walter, who has been talking about reason all along, gets the car and ram them through and say, run, right? So every one of you Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fans, like, let's not believe everything that's being said here. Because I think Kim could either fall or rise. We still don't even know that yet. So that's interesting. And
from what we've seen from the entire show, these characters are more likely to fall than rise.
It is. But it's how you fall. And I don't know, though. Like, Kim is... Because since Nacho died, Kim is the biggest open question that will keep us invested in this That's why I think Lalo is intentionally missing, because every one of us is asking, well, is this a filler episode? Where's Lalo? What is he doing? It's the 4th episode, and we have 9 left, but what is Lalo up to? We get actually no sense of it, because that is done so well from Gus's terror of him. Because the beginning scene caught me by a little surprise, because remember last time we were talking about how the creators of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul always like to start a scene with serenity, and then either surprise us with a huge action, or what we see is not what we see. It turns out this peaceful family is renting the house to Gus's drug operation. Either they're their employee or...
Yeah, that was very interesting, because it always keeps us intrigued. We're always struggling to figure out what's going on. It's such a quiet, peaceful suburban neighborhood, and they're saying all these things about that the color of the paint of this house and blah blah blah. When they return home, turns out this house is connected underground with another house across the street.
I know. And you know what this episode really finally made me realize is, though? You know how we've been disparaging Gus throughout the whole series on this one? Okay, I kind of get it. I kind of get what the show is trying to tell us now. Gus has a disease. Like, remember in Breaking Bad, he was all composed. He plays the devil really well. He's charming and nice at one moment. He's actually maybe a sociopath who cuts people off with little knives. But here, I like that scene where Mike says, is this necessary? Kind of like hinting at, is this all necessary? We don't even know. But Gus is obviously...
He's adamant that Lalo Salamanca lives.
It's obvious that his control, like, thing... We thought he had it under control, but he kind of seems like Walt here. Like, he has no control over his compulsions to stay in control or stay neat.
I love the fact that he was telling Mike that this dude who was there to protect him at the restaurant, he's not up to Los Pollos standards.
That was funny to me. Because if I was Mike, I was thinking, boss, you know that...
He's not there to make French fries.
No, another thing is... boss, that's just the front, right? We sell drugs, sir. It's like, why is the quality of our chicken important? No, but the funny thing is, because that's funny, because you have to assume that when Gus asked for a person to Mike, he said, this person must be perfect in every aspect of security and defense. And he also needs to understand perfectly how to crispy fried chicken.
He's got to have deep knowledge about deep frying.
So let me tell you, Mike, again, how to shoot gun and how to fry chicken.
Find the right candidate.
Yeah, so like Mike is like, he's like, yes, sir. Like, because Mike never says no. He's good at his job. But it's funny that like he would actually ask for like okay. It makes sense now. I was joking, but because it has to be a believable front. No, but see, that's the whole problem with Gus that we are now realizing. See, that's why last time we said we have to watch Breaking Bad first and then Saul. It's because this only works after we saw the composure devil reveal of Breaking Bad.
It doesn't work the other way.
Now through Better Call Saul, we know how deep his disease is. Like, it's like those people who can't stop lying. It's one of those things. It's like a compulsory thing.
Pathological.
Yeah. There we go. That's the word. Because if we watch Better Call Saul first and then watch Breaking Bad, the mystery is kind of gone. Because we know that he's batshit crazy, actually. He has actually no control over his need to control. So here, they showed it in a really, really interesting way. One thing is, though, like, I really want to see Lalo now. Like, next episode, all this Gus thing, was it worth it? I want to see it now.
I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with Lalo's story in the next episode.
And then
I have this feeling.
And then remember when we talked about how Lalo could contact Saul or Kim? I think this is also another hint because it's obvious that Gus thinks so because Mike is putting security on Kim and Saul, right? Yeah. But securities are also eyeballs. So I think they're actually looking at all possibilities here. So that's also a fascinating hint at what's going on. So this episode has been a slow burn, and it's a build-up. So I think they're preparing 2 punches, one with Hamlin and one with Lalo. Yeah, and both are going to be harsh.
One thing I liked about this episode was the fact that they took a little more time to show us the more personal life of Gus. But one thing I didn't like about was revealing the mystery behind that mysterious follower of Kim and Saul, Jimmy. I think it was revealed too early.
You think
so? That kind of blew off the steam for me.
No,
so
but
maybe, just like, after Nacho was killed, everything was possible. So maybe with this revelation, then things.
I agree.
Yeah, there might be more surprises waiting for us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I agree with you in that. I think it's a fake out. I think the reason why they're telling us all this and setting this up is, I think around episode 6 or 7, there's gonna be that first big punch. Because I said 2 big punches, right? I think there's definitely gonna be something that is building up to here. Because what this episode left, the feeling I have left is I have no idea what's gonna happen then. Like so you brought up a good point. So it was Gus chasing you, and then that's done, and Hamlin, that's fine. So like I have no clue what's going on.
What happens next?
Yeah, because Nacho's no longer a mystery. So what the hell is gonna happen? And then maybe even if they're doing it early, maybe next episode will be a first shocker. Because they tend to do this around the last season.
Yeah.
Because episode like season 5 of Breaking Bad was basically every 3 episodes. What the hell? Okay, it's like a break. Oh shit, it's not a break. You're gonna F me one more. And so I think they're doing that where every 3 episodes, there's going to be like a mini conclusion. Because, I think around episode 6, they're going to be like, boom! You thought you didn't see that coming, did you? And I was like, damn, you're right. Gilligan, you're so brilliant.
Yeah, yes, because they killed Nacho after 3 episodes. So
yeah,
after another 3, then we'll see something shocking.
Yeah, I know. Like, right now, it's... If you're gonna watch this afterward, Mr. Lucas, my feeling honestly is that I have no clue what's going on. Because remember last episode, you and me and Wendy, we talked about a lot of scenarios, right? But we didn't get any hint of those in this episode. Like the Hamlin, like making fun of his therapist thing, I didn't see that coming. And this show tends to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Just when they think we are about to see something, they put in a scene that's either very serene or they're building up to something. And the question I had about the therapist office is, don't they have like cameras? Like that made me think though, like maybe they have a camera footage of Saul doing all that. So a lot of questions were answered here, but none of the big questions were answered in these episodes.
Another question that popped up to my mind after watching this episode is, remember the couple hiding in that house for Gus? Who are they? Whoa, what are their jobs?
Yo.
Are they part of the cartel or? Whoa.
I have a feeling they're not going to even answer that.
Who are they?
But I do wonder about where the tax evading couple is doing though, because they were all up against like Hamlin and stuff and trying to get back. So I would like to see that too. I don't know. My guess is. Okay, I wouldn't call it a guess. Maybe in 2 episodes we'll see Jesse. Something is cooking, and then maybe that will appear. Oh, another thing. I wanted to say this. Maybe Tuco. It's time for Tuco to come out of jail.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like
we're gonna see a lot of old Breaking Bad people.
You know what I would want? I want to see the cousins interacting somehow. And like Lalo and Tuco interacting will be much more interesting than any of them interacting with the cousins, because cousins aren't really people. They're like Terminators.
Yeah, they're like robots.
Yeah. But I think Tuco and Lalo like teaming up to maybe mess with Gus will be funny and interesting. Because Tuco is the opposite of Lalo. He's the worst side of every Salamanca. Like, because if you think about it, all the cousins have Hector's trait. Because Hector can be calculating and planning too. Because he was trying to threaten Mike to release to Tuco earlier.
And he has great instincts.
He does. Because he knows Gus, like, right from the... He doesn't need to explain himself.
And we've seen throughout the show that Lalo also has that instinct.
Yeah. And Tuco, he has Hector's need for vengeance. And he also has some instincts, though. Because he says... I can tell someone's lying when it comes to money with Nacho. Remember, it scared the living hell out of Crazy 8. So I don't know. Maybe Tuco will make a comeback because we know that the Salamanca's operation needs to go on, and from what because right now Lalo went because Hector couldn't do it, so they need Tuco to do it, and I think they have to officially make that happen. So maybe down the road,
maybe it is the perfect time for him to come back.
Yeah, and say I'm taking over the North Territorio for Salamanca family, and it makes sense, and because they all think Lalo died, so it would be good to put that, like, include that on the series. But right now, this is all speculation.
Yeah. So I can't wait for next week. And see what happens in the next episode.
I know. I think by next episode we will have much more to talk about because at least we need at least one more hint to at least try to make a guess where this is going. Because right now, from what I can see, maybe Kim will betray Saul. Maybe Kim will die. All of this is possible when we don't have any evidence. So anyway, but I still like this episode because it was such a great break from the Nacho thing. So it was pretty awesome.
Slow burner, but still good.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, guys. Next week, we're going to talk about Ozark Part 2.
Oh, that's right.
If you haven't completely watched it, please watch it if you like the series. And we're going to come back with Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 5. Thank you so much. This is Joji Movie Awesome. I'm Joe.
Oh. And I'm One Jin.
Yeah, there we go. See you next week. Ba-dum-bum-bum.